Road trip! Get in, losers. We're playing free enterprise. We're going to go around the world, pick up every single vehicle this game has to offer, and we're going to do it all with grab your combos, grab your beef jerky. It's time to hit the road. My name is Sheep Launcher. I'm here in the booth with Hupfin. Hupfin, are you ready? Are you ready to go?
Well, there you have it, folks. Woo.
Woo!
I love that Sheep Launcher's woos keep getting cut off by some kind of noise gating or something. I don't even know. It's Friday night, y'all, and it's going to be Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to be searching for radio stations in between Mysidia and Fabul. We're going to try and find a decent vegetarian option near Silvera. This is going to be a really fun time. It's a Friday night community race, and the theme is 90's road trip.
Yep, so as Sheep Launcher mentioned, yes, we're going to be doing all sorts of vehicle hunting. We're going to be launching that Falcon, getting that big whale, naturally, even though we are unlocking the pass door later on. And, this is all about the vehicles. We can only fit 4 people. We don't have a bus.
No, not a desert bus or otherwise. So only 4 people, because the middle seat in the back, nobody wants to be there.
No, you put the cooler there.
Right, exactly. Although if we had a station wagon, we could put a couple people in the way back, but I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, I don't think we can get a station wagon in this game.
Yeah, and we got to make sure everybody can drive, so no kids allowed on here. That means no Palom, no Porum, and we can't start with Rydia. Rydia can't hop in the driver's seat until she becomes an adult in the Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, but it looks like our driver's seat is going to be Rosa tonight. It's a Rosa start. It's a pretty standard start. It's a pretty comfy start. I don't think any of our runners tonight are going to be terribly concerned about that.
No, having Rosa in the group, especially with a stack of arrows, even if they're weak arrows to start with, really gets our runners off on the right foot. Our runners tonight, by the way, in the top left, Possum Morpheus, Jay Brunter, Tybalt, and Lord Bob Bree, 4 experienced operators to guide us through.
Yeah, but I see Tybalt. I'm pretty sure that is a National Lampoon's Vacation naming convention, so hat tip to Tybalt.
Very nice. Tybalt definitely choosing one of the best 90's road trip movies. So, this should be a lot of fun. One thing our runners will be well served to remember that the free key item is on. So Edward in the bed is going to have a key item for us to get us started.
Yeah, he may or may not be able to join us on the trip, but he certainly has some supplies to help send us on our way.
It would be nice if he could join us, though, because the spoon flag is equipped, one of the fun things to see.
And like you were saying, the radio station options, they're not always that good. Like, dude can play some tunes in the back seat. Give him his little harp, it's not taking up too much room.
Yeah, and it could be annoying at times, but when you don't have a radio station in between the mountains there, you'll take any port in the storm. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Do want to thank our restreamer Dathis, our tracker Antidale, for being along for the ride tonight. And really, they're doing the heavy lifting, watching out for speed traps, making sure our combos are well stocked.
Yeah, we just sit up front and help navigate. We get the easy seat, where you're technically responsible for something, but it's like really the driver's doing the work.
Another thing about this flag set is our runners will not be short on money to start. We've got parents, I guess, who really want us to make sure we have some walking around money. So 3 starting money kits.
Yep, although those can have a pretty wide variance in how much gil you actually get, to my understanding. So probably going to be well kitted off on that front. It'd be kind of surprising if we wound up short. But we are going to get things rolling.
Yeah, buckle up. We are underway.
And we have Rosa joining Yang with the twin harp straight out of the gate.
Hey, we found a good radio station. We'll see how many of our runners want to stick with that. But Rosa Yang, not a bad start at all.
Yeah, again, always love to start off with a white mage, and Yang early on, depending on how you can make him grow, that's where he really shines, but it's good physical damage. It's something.
Yeah, Yang's going to need a couple levels, so maybe some side trips to get this road trip underway, but probably not going to go into Cape Magnus right away. But there's a whole world out there. The 3 money kits, not too bad. A couple of them in the mid 50s. So really nice. Jay Brun heading straight to Troya to get that key item, followed quickly by Lord Bob Bree. And meanwhile, Morpheus is in Baron.
Yep, Tybalt heading to the same area, but is going to check out the Troya shops first. That is a magma key coming from Eddie, so you definitely need to go talk to him.
Yes, that is required. You need to do all 5 of the objectives in order to get to the big tourist attraction at the end. So dropping the magma key into the aggregate well is a required objective. Of course, an early magma key, always great to see the entire underground opening up.
I feel like you were about to say the great big tourist attraction in the sky, which is technically true, but has an implication.
Yeah, Z might be the ultimate tourist trap, where you want to go to see what he's going to change into, see the pretty things that he could be, and then he hits you with a big bang, and you're like, why did I do this?
And also, literally, like if you use the pass, you take that teleport, you can't come back, so you're trapped there.
Yeah. But have a good time.
Well, it's like Lord Bobbery is going to take that magma key from Edward, just immediately drop it, and head underground.
Yep, Morpheus doing some shopping in Mist. Tybalt also in Troya, raiding the sub-treasury down there. One of the flags that is on, T-Junk is on, so you know how junk can kind of accumulate in the back seat if you're in the car for any length of time. Our runners will be fighting the inventory boss quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to have to clean that out at pretty much every rest stop.
Yep, that's why you keep a plastic bag with you, to make that easier. But, sometimes you just don't, it doesn't make it into the bag.
Yeah, that's a case of good planning, and, sometimes the road trip just sort of happens. So
Jay Brun is going to be the first restream runner to drop that magma key in the well. Tybalt right behind.
No, Lord Bobbery already took care of all that, and is actually going to be the one to go underground. Morpheus, meanwhile, completely ignoring that route, has gone up towards Damsian to pull out the hovercraft.
One vehicle that is not an objective.
I guess you could program that in if you wanted, but like it's not gated by anything ever. Like it's always free.
Morpheus is checking the waterfall boss, finds Bahamut there. Interesting thing about this flag set, though, no boss hunts with the key item on, the free key item on, the with no boss hunt as an objective. It really doesn't matter who you see anywhere, so Waterfall and Mist Cave doesn't really matter unless you just want that extra information.
Speaking of seeing things, did I see a crystal sword on Lord Bobbery's screen down in the Fame Arch freebie?
Boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. That's there's nobody who can swing it. So
not yet.
Yeah, definitely looking out for a paladin.
Very much so. It makes those character spots just that much more enticing. Mount Hobbs certainly in the offing as soon as you take care of your checks in the underground.
Well, Possum Morpheus is going to check Hobbs first. We did see that was Bigan and Antlion, I believe, down in Feymarch. So they're there.
What do you suppose?
Okay.
What do you suppose they talk about in their married life?
I don't know what anybody talks about in their married life, Sheep Launcher.
It's usually it's not much. Tybalt finds the Tomra shop has Bacchuses and Starveils.
And we do have Rydia up on Mount Hobbs with the Dark Imps defending. You take a summoner, I dare say.
Certainly, especially with just the Dark Imps guarding her.
She can't take a punch, though, apparently.
No. That's the rough part. Tybalt checked the job dwarf in Tomra, by the way. It was an artillery and missile officer.
I mean, the dwarves are known for their tanks. Makes total sense.
Yes. Very much needed when the Red Wings of Baron come calling.
Yeah, I guess that is one set of vehicles in this game that we don't get to see because they're in cutscenes, and we just don't ever bother with cutscenes in a randomizer.
That is true. We don't ever get to see the inside of the tank either, which was fun in a kind of Avengers kind of way to see all your friends that you made throughout the game rallying to your side while you climb the giant.
Yeah, although if we find the tower key, we can go inside the super cannon room, and I swear they just look the same, so it's like close enough, you know?
Lord Bodbury picked up a curse ring from the Damsian basement. Possum Morpheus is the first of our restream runners to head to the Antlion Cave.
Yeah, he's playing this very straightforward, I would say. Like, this is the kind of route and the kind of progression that you would take for just about any flag set, unless it had something really dramatic. All our other runners, like, they checked that free item, they followed that free item.
Yeah, Possum has it, but hasn't checked in on it yet. Figures he's in the neighborhood, I guess, to take care of the Antlion Cave, has the party to do it. Finds Valvalis. Worst spots to find her could be a little annoying down here.
Yeah, I believe, I mean, we'll see in a moment, but I believe you can still get a physical hit in, yep. So this party can handle it. And the magic power here is, well, she does weak, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Although I think in this spot she can miss with him. But she didn't that time, even if she could.
Meanwhile, Lord Bobbery is the first one to come back up to the surface and head towards Mount Hobbs. Probably will pick up his own Rydia. At the very least, we'll file that information away for later. No, gonna take it. Gonna go for it.
Possum finds the Baron key left behind in the Antlion Cave. And now pretty much a lot of the overworld open. Twin Harp, the Baron key, and key items can be in the summon spot as well. So the Baron Castle, besides being required to complete, has 2 more key item checks.
Yeah, the Liberate Baron Castle, like, that might seem like it doesn't quite fit the theme overall, but again, vanilla game, where do you get the Enterprise? You get it from Liberating Baron Castle. It's close enough. It works.
Yeah, in the vanilla game, instead of walking to a giant trash can at the end of a hall, you actually walk to an airship at the end of the hall. So in case you're wondering where that comes from.
Now, whether or not the airship is a giant trash, like that's Sid could go on. He probably would, but he's not in the party, so shush. He doesn't need to know.
I mean, Sid's put a lot of work into that trash can to make it fly.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why he would be so harsh about it. Like, he can see all the ways that it could be better, you know?
I mean, it could be worse. He could have recaptured it from an underground tomb of his best friend.
Yeah, that's a bit dark. that's on the darker side.
Sybil picked up the Sand Ruby from the first Sheila check.
As Possum Morpheus finds Water Hag and Cecil having a chat in the Baron Inn.
Water Hag in the first spot, always annoying, but you'll sit through anything to get this Cecil. Possum Morpheus doesn't know it yet, but a crystal sword is waiting for him.
Yeah, but that will round out his party. We do have a cap of 4 going on, so we won't have a 5th member. I would be okay with this as a final 4, honestly. You can make some swaps out for Yang, but this would work.
Yeah, certainly a party you could take to Zeromus without an issue. The Dark Knight himself decides to take on Possum Morpheus in the second spot.
See, like we said, it was Water Hag and Dark Knight Cecil having a conversation.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Cecil is very upset that you interrupted their conversation.
Meanwhile, Jabron and Tybalt defending Fabul and encountering the orbs.
So it looks like Possum Morpheus is going to get through at the cost of 2 elixirs, which is a little spendy, but you'll pay that price for a Cecil. Jabron and Tybalt just gradually debugging the issues that Fabul has with their computer system.
Yeah, it does seem like computer issues besiege entire towns all at once. And that's what happened here.
This feels like some kind of vintage ransomware. like some nefarious actor just kind of showed up through these CPU orbs at them and like, if you pay us enough gil, maybe they'll go away.
So, Dark Knight Cecil was holding the Legend Sword, which seems like there should be a metaphor here.
Yeah.
And so the changing room on Mad Ordeals transplanted to the Baron Inn, make it more accessible to the people, I suppose. Meanwhile, Tybalt and Jabron just got a Zeus gauntlet.
I mean, that's great gear for your Cecil once he's fully online. Just buffs that strength even further. But, you know, you got to get those characters for it. That's an Ed in the Bed, I do believe, which is apparently his natural habitat.
Better than an elf on the shelf, but Tybalt is not interested.
Yeah, Tybalt's still rolling on just 2 characters. We'll want to pick up that Rydia from Mount Hobbs. Jabron in the same situation, has not gone to obtain his summoner.
The Fabul shop does have a cabins, either ones, and life potions. Good information to sock away for later. Or now if you got enough cash from your beginning bounty.
And I guess one of our tourist destinations will be Splash Mountain. We have Kanazo up here on Ordeals.
Yeah, it's time for a raft ride.
Log flume, log flume, log flume. That's a callback.
Now, don't take Kainatsu to the wave pool because the wave scared him. Tybalt gets his summoner, but again, as with all of our other runners, Rydia does not manage to stay upright through the whole thing.
Yeah, I swear the AI is aligned for everybody, and just that first punch goes straight for the kid.
Yeah.
Like, that was the case for Possimorbius, that was the case for Lord Bobry, just bam, instant.
Well, I think isn't it established canon that that Boardface just hates Rydia?
I mean, I'm willing to believe that. I'm not going to say it's true, but I'm willing to believe it.
Although, the best way to take a road trip with a kid is just to have them sleep all the time. So,
you know, as someone who was a kid on a road trip, I agree.
Yeah, just don't let Rydia read too much in the back seat, or else you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, I was that kid too.
You want to answer a question in chat? I said in the beginning that Rydia only becomes an adult after Dwarf Castle, and that's why she's included on this trip. It doesn't mean you can't use her every way she could be used. That was just me explaining why Palom and Porum weren't here, but Rydia was here. She's fully useful, and you know, this is just a fun road trip story.
Now, that said, the 90s road trip movie where you do end up with like even a teenager in the group, but by the end they're a grown adult. I feel like that's maybe on the more surreal side of 90s road trip movies, and I am including Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in that list. So that's the level of surrealism.
Yeah, very much so.
But you know, they could have done it. They made all sorts of movies. They make all sorts of movies all the time. They're still making movies to this day, I'm told.
That's big news if it's true. Possimorpheus encounters King Queen Eblin in the back spot on the bridge. Not a problem.
Nope, totally free fight. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Tybalt going to see what that summon is. It's just Shiva, and Tybalt doesn't want to sit through that animation.
Yeah, it's a decent summon, but that is one of those that she will get for free once you do a Dwarf Castle, so no point sitting through it. That was an Avenger coming down for Possimorpheus up in the Crystal Chamber. Dare say better than a Legend Sword.
Yes, and Possimorpheus will certainly take that for his Paladin Cecil. And like we said, he doesn't even know yet the bounty that awaits him. But once everybody else visits Baron Inn, visits Mount Ordeals, gets that free item, free crystal sword in the chest, Cecil's going to be lighting it up.
Yeah, this is very much going to be the Cecil show. But many seeds where you have Cecil and Rosa and some really high tier gear, it's pretty much just those two anyway. They are the power couple for a reason.
Now, what's the 90s road trip movie that has a power couple like that?
I mean, I only just before this stream realized that the Blues Brothers was an 80s movie, not a 90s movie. So my sense of 90s road trip film is completely shot. Scott Lady arguing Bill and Ted. I mean,
yeah,
that's a power metal couple.
Dathis, our restreamer, saying Tommy Boy, which it's been entirely too long since I've seen that movie. It's interesting that J. Brown and Tybalt have pretty much followed each other's path here.
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, and Lord Bobry holding pretty close as well. Jabron still refusing to pick up that Rydia, though.
Now, Tybalt tried that Dark Knight Cecil in the Baron Inn, got one look at the Dark Wave and said, nope, I'm going to go up Mount Ordeals, get some levels first.
Yeah, it's increasingly looking like Possum Morpheus's Elixir Gambit. That might be the way to handle this situation.
Yeah, that might be the price of admission. That might be the cover charge in the Baron Inn, is a couple of elixirs. Jabron looking to see if he picked up anything, and doesn't look like it.
No, it's gonna have to lean on life potions and healing spells, and that's probably not gonna be fast enough. Trying to run buffer this.
Now, the spot is slow. The slowest in the overworld. He's gonna try and get through.
No luck. But Aposomorphy is clearing out all, or at least most, of the overworld, is now finally heading underground, and looks like heading straight to Dwarf Castle.
You know what Possumorpheus did not clear out?
No, because I clearly have not been paying sufficient attention.
Possumorpheus did not do the Twin Harp.
And nobody's done the Twin Harp.
No.
And it's a despair and sadness.
But Possumorpheus is famous for that.
For not doing Twin Harp, or for despair and sadness?
Oh, Possumorpheus is a ray of sunshine. Question in chat: where's the crystal sword? It's in the rat tail chest in the Land of Summon Monsters.
Oh, and you're gonna want that against those D-Lunars.
Oh yeah, that Cecil will go burr against them, but with this party, with this gear, a little too tough, and Possumorpheus says no thanks.
Yeah, still plenty of other little things to check out before going back to that, or, heaven forbid, going to Twin Harp. So he's got some room to work here. Tybalt finding the Eblin royalty. Just kind of sit here for a moment before you go and get that adventure sword that you can't use yet.
But he's well aware that the Cecil is there. I believe he also has already made that trip into the Fame Arch. Jabron also going to make the trip and is going to pick up that Eddie.
Oh. But putting some Kenny G into the cassette deck, apparently. It's all of his character names are 90s musicians. Or I guess like some before, but Donna's been around for a while. Kenny G, yeah. I assume, still does things.
You ever go on a road trip with anybody who just likes one particular band or artist just a little bit too much?
Again, Sheep Launcher, I was that one person.
I mean, I probably was that one person. But, I've been on a road trip with somebody who insisted on playing Radiohead's entire discography. Which is fine, but when you're not seeing anything, it's a little hard to take.
That's difficult music for no background, you know?
Yeah, like, it's not middle of Nebraska music for
no
whatever.
Also, appropriately not good middle of Nebraska music is this is a long drive for someone with nothing to think about. That's not really good long driving music. You kind of zone out.
Yeah. And then you're miles down the road and you're like, wait, how did I get here? Was that, mm-hmm. that's a scary part. But
But yeah, this is the kind of conversation and commentary that we can do while our runners are just retreading each other's steps.
Yeah. Our runners are checking the boxes that they kind of have already done.
Yeah, Possum Morpheus not touching any of the loot down in the Feymarch, wants nothing to do with T-Junk.
Nope, he's seen the empty Cheetos bags in the backseat. Like, we have enough stuff.
And hey, you got a crystal sword. That's all the loot you really need.
But I want a keychain. Do want to thank our restreamer Dathis, our tracker Antidale, who's been put through his paces already. And thank you, Hupfin, for keeping this car on the road.
Listen, I'm just navigating.
Let me know if there's a speed trap up ahead, will you?
Well, we'll see if these D-Lunars are a speed trap for Possum Morpheus, going at it again with that crystal sword in hand.
So, Jaybrun used that Eddy, hid from that Dark Knight, and got through without using Elixir.
Ooh, that's the clever play.
So, very heads up from Jaybrun, gets the Dark Knight Cecil.
And I mean, it's not permajoin or anything. If that's all you use Edward for, then that's fine. You can send him on his way.
Very true. The buy flag is not on, permajoin is not on, so you can actually swap out characters just by heading back to Mysidia, if you'd like. And Possum Morpheus cleaves through those D-Lunars.
Yeah, that crystal sword hitting not 9k when we just got Paladin Cecil. That's potency. Anyway, here's the ult gauntlet.
Hey, that's fun. Possum Morpheus ditching duplicate Yang. But yeah, this ult gauntlet will just be a series of target practice for that Cecil.
Yep. We were saying that first fight, that ended really quickly. This, not going to end really quickly. Even if you get through these fights, in short order, there's still a bunch of them.
Yeah, there are 5 of them with the ult gauntlet. The Dwarf Castle getting really into the underground scene.
I mean, it's always been part of the underground scene, I dare say.
In the strictest sense, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Possum Morpheus will be here for a little bit of time, but it won't be threatening. Aubrey has his Paladin Cecil taking on Leg in the changing room.
And Leg is defeated.
So now we know if we see a Rubicon spot or a sprite hanging out anywhere, it will be the elements. It's good to know where you've been and where you're going.
Yep, pretty valuable skills on any sort of trip, really.
Yeah, so far our runners have not. It's been fairly smooth sailing, not running into any real snags. Some have been a little bit faster than others, and Tybalt's the only one who really ran into a wall, but is coming back to the Baron Inn. So
yeah, this spot right here has been the only sort of bottleneck, and it's proving worse for Tybalt as Edward will not wake up. Get up, boy. There you go. That will be essential for phase 2 of the plan, as we saw with J-Run.
Yep. But finally, Edward wakes up.
Yeah, he slept right through that whole motivational speech that was meant specifically for him. It's absolutely disrespectful to Anna.
It's a tough look for Anna. It really is. She, you got to give her credit. She gave it her gusto. Maybe she just didn't notice. Bobbery's going to be the first one to unlock the sewer with the Baron key.
Yep, give us a nice little bit of divergence. I use Dark Elf as our first fight, but that leaves the throne and the basement for 2 mysteries. I dare say we've seen a lot of the free fights so far. When you say Sheep Launcher?
Yeah, we've seen Water Hag, we've seen King Queen Evelyn. We haven't seen any Flavor of Guards yet, but we've seen Dark Imps up on Mount Hobbs. So yeah, really only Baron Guards and Kaipo Guards left that are free.
Yeah, so I'll not be surprised if Lord Bobbery takes care of the objective, liberates Baron Castle, maybe holds off on that Odin spot for a little longer. If you have something that's not terribly free, it can become, very expensive for this party.
Morpheus got the pink tail from Luca, I believe, and remembered the warp glitches on. It warped back into the Seal Cave to get the Moon Veil.
Well, that's resources.
And I'm informed by chat that
it was a hook.
It was a hook. I got the wrong 4-letter thing. Thank you, chat. Just took a little wrong turn there. That's fine. That's fine. We're still making good time.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
In 500 feet, make a U-turn. And Morpheus is going to follow Lord Bobbery into Baron. Lord Bobbery finds all of the elements sitting on the throne after dispatching Dark Elf with a quickness.
And, I wouldn't be surprised if he dispatches this with the quickness as well. Yep, that is 1 Crystal Sword swing.
Why don't you just find a Crystal Sword every seat? Free Enterprise is an easy game.
Yeah, that's that is definitely how it goes. And we have a Kane as the character here. Lord Bobbery is going to take him over Yang, so we're pretty much prepping a vanilla-ish party.
Yeah. 4 out of the 5 final party characters in Lord Bobbery's party. Young hadn't really gotten the levels that would be strictly necessary to make him indispensable. So I did not see if Lord Bobbery got any good Kane weapons, but he must feel comfortable.
I didn't see anything spectacular, but I mean, we have an Avenger sword.
That's true.
And we have a white shirt as the item reward, so that's pretty top shelf for Rosa.
And the real prize, getting that second objective.
Yep, so that does give him the lead on that front, although Possum Morpheus and Tybalt will both be pretty close behind.
Yeah, we have a chase happening, speaking of Blues Brothers. And Bobbery is going to escape and go to Cave Magnus.
Yep, having gotten the band back together, I suppose. Time to go for a show.
Yeah. It's 106 miles to Troya. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
I was split for a second because I'm pretty sure the blind status effect does actually work in this game. So characters you could be wearing sunglasses, but it would be to your disadvantage.
Although the blind Shopkeeper, played by Ray Charles, has the best shot in the game.
That is true. That is true.
It's a shame to see a young man go to waste.
Yeah, we keep referencing the Blues Brothers. That's 1980. We should be more accurate. But at the same time, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, maybe they should name the flagship 80s road trip movie. It's not our fault.
Anyway, here's Dark Elf again, except a fake Dark Elf, or more real Dark Elf, not sure. But we're gonna see what he decides to be and what music will calm his magnetic nerves.
Turn it up!
So while we swap over from Lord Bobbery to Possum Morpheus, who is now surprisingly also gotten the Twin Harp check going through, we did see Mylon Z down in the Baron basement, just gave the Excalibur, but clearing out this Demus will get you a tower key.
Yeah, Demus, one of the enemies here that allows a long rendition of that song, which is lovely, and which we will get to hear again.
So anyway, Sheep Launcher, the way that you did that whole woo bit before we got to Cave Magnus, and then we actually hear the music, and it's that nice serene theme from Earthbound.
Yes.
I'm just envisioning, your 90s road trip movie, early scene, main character has the CD with Iron Maiden, like a mixtape that they made.
Yeah.
It just says like, heavy metal stuff. They're like, woo, like we're going to jam out. They pop it in and it's like baby lullabies. And then meanwhile back in their house,
over their mixtape.
No. Meanwhile, back in their house, the kid, they're like 2-year-old is just headbanging. That feels like a very 90s road trip movie scene that has now emerged fully formed. And you can use that.
I love it. Well, Possum Morpheus gets his tower key. Tybalt and Lord Bobry in the Dwarf Castle. Once they complete that, they will get the hook for their troubles and be 2 key items away from go mode.
Yeah, we do ultimately need that hook. That is how we do objective number 3. That will let us launch the Falcon. Possum Morpheus heading that direction right now. That tower key may be useful, may not be. But it may be enough nudge to go and actually do those checks. Could be that the top of tower is what we're looking for.
The tower with the tower key contains 2 more key item checks. And if you are going to go down and launch the Falcon, go along the hook route. Not a ton along the hook route that will give a Crystal Sword Cecil a real tough time. So Possum confident in his ability to take care of the 2 hook route bosses, and then once you launch that Falcon, you can immediately park it outside the tower, head up the tower, and never have to deal with the Falcon again.
Yeah, it's very, very nice, convenient routing for Possum Morpheus here.
Love it when a plan comes together. And there's a Foo.
That Fusoya is a plan coming together, yes.
And some flavor of guards.
Yep, I believe that will be the Baron Guards with the blue robe, but I'm not sure they're actually distinguished there.
At that spot, a blue robe can be either the Baron Guards or the Kaipo Guards.
Well, neither one will provide much of a challenge to Possum Morpheus, or probably any of our runners, really, by the time they get there.
And Possum Morpheus says goodbye to Rydia. She's been through a lot. She's grown up.
Yep.
And now she's dealing with rejection.
Well, unfortunately, she grew up and didn't bring along any of those really, really potent summons like Leviathan or Bahamut, while Fusoya knows everything eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, Possum Morpheus has done enough bosses that Fu will have a really good selection of spells.
So yeah, as before, Possum Morpheus well past the point of bothering with any manner of looting. Is going to use that Yong as an anchor, putting the curse ring on him, and not much else.
Yeah, if you're going to tank his stats like that and really no purpose in equipping him with anything else, really. Jabron heading up Mount Hobbs and decides he wants a summoner and ditches Kane to get her.
That is potentially interesting. Again, we haven't seen Leviathan or Bahamut, which are the big plays when you've got Rydia in your party. That doesn't mean they aren't around. And having one of those can make her a lot more valuable than Kane in a lot of situations.
Possum Morpheus runs into the dolls in the first spot. That food knows Quake, and that's it for the dolls.
Yeah, no Quake Kid on this seed, but Quake Old Man still works.
Our tracker Antidale pointing out that Rydia does have Warp, and Jaybrun, knowing he can swap out characters if he wants, may be deciding to pick up Rydia to get that Warp spell, take advantage of that in the Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, it's a reasonable enough play. You know, Kayn does get advantage from levels, same as any other character, but higher tier gear is what's really going to do it. And he does actually have Leviathan, so there's that.
Yeah, could be a long-term play as well.
But Posomorpheus makes a short-term play of this tower dive already through both bosses, down the pitfall, and will be launching his Falcon.
Yeah, the hook route, not an issue at all for this party.
And I think we saw Leviathan the boss fight up at the top of tower.
Again, not a big deal. Should be able to take that. Maybe it would want to use a Star Veil or two for some safety, but the magic power up there isn't very high.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that shakes out. I do think Posomorpheus is going to make the exact routing we were discussing earlier, going straight back into the tower.
That's really my favorite thing to do with the Falcon is just park it and leave it behind. You don't need a drill in this game.
No. And any airborne vehicle, well, I shouldn't say that because of the big whale, but most airborne vehicles can still blow up a mountain if they so need to.
Yeah, the way we use the big whale in this game, it's not so much airborne as spaceborne.
Yeah. Yeah, there tends not to be air in space. Even though you have an air and space museum, so they are like friends, but they're not the same thing.
Right. In space, no one can hear your tedious explanations of what various aircraft do.
So you're saying I should never go to space? Oh, I know. I was mistaken. That is a Mylon. So it will be Mylon and friends.
It will be, because Mylon Z is in the Barren basement. Yeah, that purple robe can be deceiving. Mylon and friends up here. We still have a Crystal Sword Cecil.
We still have a Quake.
Yeah, give him the old one too. Tybalt encountering his dolls. Tybalt did not take Fusoya. So going through the dolls, picking them off one by one, he does have 2 blue dolls up.
Yep, yep, that's what we were afraid of. Big doll time.
Big doll.
And a doll.
And there's no EXP in that spot anyway.
Yep, the bigger they doll, the harder they fall.
I missed what Mylon and friends gave us at the top of the tower.
The darkness crystal is what they gave us.
Well, that is kind of important.
Yeah, kind of required. We'll see if the tower key was required as well, or if this was accessible earlier. But holding off until this point when you've got a decently powered Cecil with a crystal sword, can't blame you. I can't blame you if you're reset out of this one. That's very fair.
Well, you know, with all the junk clogging your inventory, this could be a good chance to do some rearranging.
Yeah. It's like we're on the highway and there's construction on the highway, and we're just like, slow down to a crawl, man. We're just,
Yeah, it's just, there's one lane closed. They're waving us through, but only a couple at a time. Ugh.
yeah, and there's people who just won't they just won't merge. Like
People.
one at a time, people. It's simple.
The zipper merge is more efficient. Just do it.
Zip.
Just go all the way to the end and zip. That's why it's there. They left that road open for you for a purpose. You don't need to merge a mile before the merge point. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
I mean, we've both been there.
But that Rosa did not succumb to the paralyzed spell, was able to quickly defeat Golbez, and Golbez was left to sputter a question. Tybalt launches his Falcon.
Yep, so Tybalt, Morpheus both sitting at 3 objectives. Tybalt is going away from the tower, though. Does not have that tower key, it looks like.
Yeah, never went to Cave Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Neither has Jabron, I believe. So they won't have the tower key, so the allure of the tower not quite as strong.
Yep, though Morpheus is going to have to walk it out for us to see if there is value there. We are still looking for a pass. That is the last key item that we absolutely need.
But Upton, you know what this means. That Keyless Tower, still the play.
Keyless Tower may very well have been the play.
It works every single time.
Well, you're not getting a key item out of the package, so...
Nope. And yeah. I don't think there's a single character there that Morpheus is interested in, so just going to leave it alone, go get that whale.
Yep, this also means that doing the Twin Harp, doing Cave Magnus, utterly unnecessary, and you know Morpheus is aware of that.
What do you think he's mumbling to himself right now?
Words, probably.
Opry launches his Falcon. Tybalt, meanwhile, going to face down Baigen in the Land of Southern Monsters. Has a Moon Veil, has a Crystal Sword Cecil, so he should be able to make it through it.
Yep, and again, all of these locations can have key items. Summons locations, the moon, standard. So like, Tybalt could very well be getting the pass right now. That is entirely possible. But Morpheus heading up to the moon, same story. Could be up there.
Yeah. And is going to check K value first. Tybalt doing a little bit of an arm grind.
Yeah, very unintentional one, I suspect. that is Crystal Sword Avenger. That is Moon Veil. That is, I'm going to go take a walk.
Yeah. I know there have been some seeds where there has been an intentional moon grind, but I do not want to play them. Intentional arm grind, I mean.
Yeah, you got to be in some tricky situations, which you can create those for yourself. Morpheus, I believe, spotted the karate fight up in the Cave Bahamut. With a Cecil in your party and free bosses on, that is no sweat. If you can survive a few punches.
Yeah, he'll punch hard a couple of times, but then Cecil will lay a crystal sword on him and he'll go, ouch.
Which, I mean, you would.
But this is a storyline ouch.
Ah, yes. The narrative pain. That actually made it sound almost like it would be a real thing. I probably should have said something like the narrative owie. I think that's funny. I think we could roll that one back.
I think narrative pain
Ooh.
has its own page on TV tropes.
Speaking of owie, though, Tybalt gets the exploding arm,
Yep.
and that's 3,000 damage on the only standing party member.
And that's not reflectable. And K Value has the goods. Possum Morpheus is in go mode.
Okay, Bahamut lives up to its name. Now, where do you grind? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any sirens for sale.
Nope. Although we have not checked with the Hummingways. You have a foo that's not Tella, but that's still a potential D machine.
That's true.
And yeah, there are grind options up here on the moon, but you have to come back down to the blue planet regardless. So that doesn't really sway it one way or another.
Yeah, that's right. Sirens, I think, would if Possum could find them, they'd be the most obvious solution. Not up here in the Hummingway shop. Elixirs and Cure 2s.
But at the same time, we're talking about going and grinding. It's got a foo in the party. Can you foo and friends this?
Yeah, Possum Morpheus has done quite a few Z fights with irregular parties, with low-level parties. We'll see what he feels comfortable with here. He's going straight to Troya.
Yeah, he may be going for it already. J Brown, meanwhile, getting through the dolls, about to take on the guards. Lord Bobry has tower key and will travel.
Yeah, it'll take out that Goldes, less than 1,000 HP in the cannon room. Just had to listen to his comedy act first, though.
Tybalt on another go of this buying and fight that we now know does not have the value. But, swinging things like a Titan summon, you don't see that, but you love to.
I love that the item seller in the Troya bar had a silk web for sale. Hey,
beautiful.
Forget anything?
That is the pinnacle of convenience station.
It really is. If only she sold like one of those roller taquitos.
Oh yeah.
That would be clutch. And Possum Morpheus is gonna go straight in.
So yeah, at under an hour, we're having to ponder the most important question of a 90s road trip movie. What are we wearing?
Yeah, what's out there? What are we seeing?
Yeah, I mean, there are over 500 costumes that Zeromus could be donning this evening. I don't know the exact number, and then you also have to consider the duplicates and how many of them are Sephiroth, etc., etc. It's math. Let's not bother with math. Let's just kick a butt.
Yeah, and there is a butt right here that needs some kicking.
As we get this Zeromus fight started. Tybalt has been doing a bit of kicking of his own with Yang, trying to get that darkness crystal, though naturally he doesn't know it yet. That Keyless Tower play will be very valuable for him.
Now, did he give up on that Baigen, or did he defeat that Baigen?
Seemed like he gave up on it. And yes, Possimorpheus has been sent down to the Hades, and here he is.
Well, Mylon Z in the basement threatened this, and
yep, he saw this coming. That's called foreshadowing.
Now, there have been some road trips I've been on where my arm has been out the window so long that it turns that color red.
Yeah, the classic among truckers having that issue. Classic.
Classic. Bobry summoning that whale. J-Brun heading into the Fey March. Tybalt gets his Darkness Crystal. And Possimorpheus has a really interesting Z fight here.
Yeah, these are pretty low level, certainly low health. So you're going to have to be mindful of how you're handling the big bangs and making sure you're nerfing them properly. I looked from his inventory like he's going to use crosses as his nerfing item, which has a certain comical appropriateness here, I dare say.
Sure does.
It's not quite as if you were fighting Draculamus, but I think you can still make it work.
Yeah, see if the crosses have any power against him. Lord Bobry heading into the lunar subterrane.
Yep. Good move being on the moon, but not the direction that you need to go. There is a ninja in your path. In many situations, that is a sign that you should go elsewhere. Just like in life. Like if a ninja is in your path, maybe go elsewhere. But Lord Bobry is going to forge ahead.
If a ninja is in your path, he wants you to see him.
This is true. I mean, Edge always wants to be seen. Come on. That is definitely the structure of his personality. Tybalt, having obtained that Darkness Crystal, is actually heading to Troya and going to use that Twin Harp, it feels like. Probably figuring he's had that for a long time, hasn't gotten value out of it, and unfortunately is going to get a useless tower key.
So, Tybalt going to go fetch, going to retrace some steps. A little bit frustrating. That big bang comes out, successfully nerfed. Not too shabby.
Yep, making use of those elixirs that he purchased from the Hummingways. And yeah, this is just precise use of your items, using your Star Veils, using your spell summons, and just trying to get some good reflected damage and good direct damage.
Yeah, a really cool collected setup and just in control of the timing of the turn order. It's just a delight to see.
Yeah, I believe we saw some direct attacks from Cecil at the beginning, but you don't want to be doing those for too long. You want to make sure you don't do a direct attack and cause the overflow. So, Possimorpheus, we know he will count the HP. He will keep track of that. That is the sort of thing you need to be able to do and do well to execute this strategy.
J-Brun taking on the Antlion in the Fey March. Meanwhile, Tybalt about to play the harp song, which is from Earthbound. We got through the ribbon room, got a rat tail.
Yep, and that was a crystal ring from the antlion fight. I don't believe anyone actually got through the Baigan fight, but either way, we know the value isn't down there.
No.
Tybalt picking up the tower key after having done keyless tower. That's got to feel a bit annoying to have that be the sequence.
It's just deflating. Especially if you were wondering which rabbit hole to go down next. Like, oh, I could have done this better. I bet everybody else did it except me.
And yet, so far as our restream runners go, that's only half. Lord Bobry and Posomorphy is the only ones to go dig into Cave Magnus. That is a bit of a big bang coming to Posomorpheus' side.
Yeah, a little high roll. Power couple is down.
But that does not matter. That is solid counting.
Fu takes care of it, and Posomorpheus finishes in first place. The time of 1:06:52, and we are joined by Posomorpheus. Possum GG.
GG, y'all. Sorry about all the frames. Apparently, I ate all the buttons, and I was still hungry and decided frames were the next best thing.
We told you to bring combos and beef jerky and anything else you were going to need on the road trip.
I didn't listen. I'm bad at listening and reading and so many other things. I apologize.
Well, you seem to be good at that Zeromus fight, though. Handled that pretty cleanly.
Yeah, I've done that one once or twice before, so, yeah. Fu and Friends is fun. Crystal Sword Cecil with an Avenger who needs him.
Well, I mean, he did carry you through a number of the middle fights, making stuff like going down through the hook route just a trivial act.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely made the mid-game super easy. Fu, of course, just threw gasoline on that fire. And then just first location, the pass, as soon as you get the darkness, forehead. Just find the things that are required, I guess.
Now, that said, though, you did go and do Cave Magnus, which we were all surprised and impressed. And you get the tower key, and then there's Golbez, and we're all surprised and impressed, and then it was useless. And I'm just wondering your emotional state at that moment.
Yeah. I didn't want to do the harp, but it didn't seem like that bad a check at the time. And then it led to something I had to keep, which was like, okay. And then I'm on my way back down from the tower, and I'm like, I have darkness. I just want to go to the moon. Do I stop and do this? And then I stopped and did the tower key, and I felt bad. And yeah, that was kind of the emotional state there. It was just like, man, this twin harp.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thoroughly valid play. If that was the pass, you would have felt probably incredible. But that pass could have been anywhere, and today it was in cave value.
Yeah, I mean, I figured go up to the moon, do cave value, do pale dim spot, make it so you don't have to walk the LST, then hit the bottom of the moon. I didn't really want to stay on Earth past being a, air quote, terminal type key item, along with like the sand ruby, half a forge, the spoon, the pink tail, those types of things. It's more likely it's going to be on the moon or a summon spot. So I was like, well, we'll go there. We'll play on the moon. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But I'm gonna stake my claim to the moon and go from there. And better lucky than good, or maybe a combination of both.
Well, I mean, the routing might count as lucky, but that Zeromus fight, again, that was definitely good. That was a demonstration of skill right there.
I appreciate that. I had exactly the amount of resources I needed for it. 3 veils, 3 star veils, 1 moon veil with the 4 characters. Rosa not dying was actually quite imperative to getting through that without needing another cycle. I was hoping to clear it before the second Big Bang, but I didn't quite get there. Fu was not rolling good on the nukes, but to be fair, he also had no equipment whatsoever. So, it went well. I've done Fu and Friends a lot, really started focusing on it during the Lally Ho League, so 2 tournaments ago now. And nice to see it be able to be shown off on the big stage again.
Now, did you know you were going to do Fu and Friends strats as soon as you saw that Fu in the hook route?
No, I did not know I was going to do that until I saw until I saw the pass from Value Cave and said, well, do I really want to grind? I guess if there's exactly sirens in the moon shop, I will do 1 or 2 gold dragon fights and then just Zerk. There were no sirens in the moon shop, and I assumed no sirens in the seed. So then I just decided, well, we have this in the toolkit, let's just do it.
All right, well, I think we got to ask you the most important question, which is, what's your favorite 90s road trip movie?
Can I go with Dumb and Dumber?
Sure.
We'll allow it, yes.
All right, either that or what's the one with David Spade and Chris Farley that's also
Tommy
really
Boy.
stupid humor? Tommy Boy, there we
Tommy
go.
Boy.
We'll go with those 2, yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
That was feeling like Dathis' vote, our restreamer tonight.
I'm on board with that. I like both of those movies. The silly humor just kind of takes the edge off of things. But yeah, I appreciate y'all driving this car on this 90s road trip. Apparently, I'm really liking this flag set, so maybe we'll see it again sometimes. But thank you, Hupfin. Thank you, Sheep Launcher, for the comms. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Antidale and Dathis. I see floating around in the restream room as well. So appreciate y'all. Without you fine folks, none of this show would go on. So thank you, everyone. And also Super GGs. Sorry to steal a little bit of thunder here. Super GGs to Hereward coming in like very close as well. I definitely want to go watch back and see what Hereward did coming in second place. Really close. So thank you again, everyone, and y'all have a great night.
Yeah, congratulations on driving that car just pedal to the floor and coming in first place. GG's once again Possum Morpheus with a winning time of 1:06.52.
Yep, and as he mentioned, Hereward did take second with a 1:08.13. So yeah, that is like a minute and a half apart, roughly. So very, very good showing there as well. We're getting the rest of our runners, unfortunately, kind of spread out a bit. Tybalt is on the right path, is in Cape Bahamut. Jabron picked up that Earth Crystal from the Baigan fight and is now peeking that. While Lord Bobbery has been plunging through the subterranean, knocking out bosses left and right. Plenty of XP, but not the item that he needs.
And has been chasing down a couple rabbit holes, I believe, but clearing out the LST, just a Dragoon Spear from the Ogopogo spot. The 2 characters in Tower of Zot, Fu and Edge, and Jabron says no thanks.
That's it. Naming Edge Slash. That is pristine, I dare say.
Love it. Love it. Although, if I could just punch it up just a little bit, maybe Sid should be named Slash because he has the axe.
Possibly. I see why, but I think Sid could have been Hammer.
Yeah.
I see why Young. I'm with that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying Plan B.
I like it. Sure. And Tybalt going to take that big whale to Troya as well. Gonna turn in that pass. and it looks like going to try and take on Z right now as well.
Yeah, I have not seen his status screen in a little bit, so I'm not sure where he's landing on levels and all of that. May see a pretty similar approach. I don't think he's quite done the grind to do a more traditional fight. I think Lord Bobry, when he gets there, will be a more traditional fight.
Yeah, Bobry clearing out the LST, going to get a ton of levels from it.
Yeah. Tibble actually picking up that crystal and then leaving makes me think his plan is to grind his way down the subtrain like Lord Bobry has been inadvertently doing.
Interesting. That's certainly what he's doing. No reason to open up the pass door now, unless you're doing that. Oh, our research McGath is pointing out that is 10 key items for Tybalt.
That is.
So double experience. I don't know if he picked up a siren along the way, or if he's might be doing behemoth fights down here.
If he's getting outside of Cave Bahamut, yeah, that could well be a behemoth grind. There are a few guaranteed fights here. Only a few, but that's a good splash of XP, and especially when you have that 10 key item bonus.
We do have a third place finisher. Flurry 14 finishes in third place with a time of 1:17:37. GG's to Flurry. Bobry picking up all the equipment and all the experience. But his key item is in another castle. Tybalt is doing that behemoth grind.
And we just saw Lord Bobry doing one of the most JRPG things I think you could do, just setting up camp on the moon.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Why not? With the cabin that you've been keeping in your pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very video game, and and I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have I wished, to have something I could just fold into my pocket that could just take out and shake a couple times and it's shelter. I think that'd be wonderful.
We do have, as J. Brown is going and doing the Cave Magnus check, we have had Rybon finish in 4th, the time of 1:18:08.
GG's to Rybon.
Give y'all one last bit of Earthbound music as our two runners at the bottom of the screen are doing their respective grinds.
And Jabron dispatches that D-Mist. Tybalt ran into some issues dealing with the Behemoth had to reset out of, or at least exit out of Cape Bahamut to refit, get healthy. Going to climb back down and do one more.
Yep, so this should push Jabronter towards the tower with that tower key. That will get him the Darkness Crystal, that will get him back on track. But it will be a little bit of a rabbit hole. And hopefully when he takes that Darkness Crystal, it does go to Cape Bahamut, as Lord Bobbery is doing right now.
Yeah, Lord Bobbery, I didn't see what he got out of that Ashura spot, or that Ashura fight, but he didn't want it, reset out of it. I think this item he'll find much more to his liking.
There we go, Tybalt through one more Behemoth, getting 3-4 levels, getting Cure 4 on Rosa. That's a good benchmark to hit.
Yeah, that should do it.
And there's your scripted ouch. Lord Bobbery going to pick up the pass, going to be ready to roll, probably ready to roll straight from here after all of those fights.
Yeah, Cecil's at 2,700 should be good enough with a crystal sword. That would be the worst casting call ever, is for the caster to ask you to say ouch. Gotta put a lot of inflection on it.
Yeah, you need a good director at that point. Describe the pain. Describe,
Yeah.
What am I going through? What am I feeling?
Is it a big ouchie, or is it a little owie? Well, Tybalt is on his one-way trip to fight Hadesmus. Lord Bobbery going to be glad he stopped for that silk web.
Yep, and is going to be right behind Tybalt heading into this final fight.
Yeah, dueling Z fights. Hopefully both runners keep their eyes on the road and are able to finish this off with a bang.
Well, I mean, strictly from the script, there'll be at least one big bang, probably two. It depends on how fast things go.
I mean, like a bang, I don't need it to be big if they end things with a bang.
I mean, Zeromus doesn't care what you're actually after.
No, that's part of what makes him a jerk.
Yeah, fortunately, though, it does stick to a fairly predictable script, so our runners should be well experienced enough to handle whatever Hadesmus will throw at them.
Yeah, Tybalt has that agility anchor Rydia and is going to Zerk, Yang, and Cecil, most likely. Lord Bobbery's team has the love triangles Cecil, Kane, and Rosa, plus Fu. That Fu in the middle position for Lord Bobbery could be a little bit tricky with the agility situation. We'll see how his levels kind of work themselves out and see how he handles it.
Yeah, I believe cursed rings were well enough available. I don't remember where they were, but we definitely looted those. A cursed ring Fusoya. Yeah, there's at least one.
Yeah.
So a cursed ring Fusoya, that's a pretty manageable anchor. It's not optimal, but it's still in a pretty good spot.
They're slicing. They're dicing. They're dueling crystal sword Cecils. Yeah, even with a cursed ring on, a cure 4 is still a cure 4. Jabrun, meanwhile, showing us piggy strats to deal with the cannon room Golbez.
Yep, just trying to get that fight over with that much faster. No one wants to be here any longer than they have to be.
Yeah. Only thing worse than facing down Golbez is being trapped in a small room with Golbez.
Yeah, imagine you go to the office, you push the button on the elevator, the door opens up, and there's Golbez. And you're just like, not how I wanted to start my day.
That Big Bang not nerfed on Tybal's side. Black Hole coming out, he could resurrect Rosa if he wants to.
Yep. The Avenger Sword is going to keep Cecil zerked through a black hole. Will not keep him zerked through a Meteor if it knocks him out, but it does not. 31 HP, that's plenty. And that is it.
That is 30 more than you need. And Tybalt finishes in 6th place.
No, fifth place according to the list, yeah.
Yep.
And that is Tybalt with a time of 1:27.52.
GG's to Tybalt. We'll see if we can get him in here.
And we have some rapid finishes. Scythe Marshal with a 1:27.56. Pyre with a 1:27.57. They are second apart.
Wow. GG's to them. But we are joined by Tybalt. Tybalt, GG.
Scythe Marshal.
GG.
So that behemoth grind that was kind of foisted onto you, heads up play for you to use that pass to get the 10 key items.
Yeah, I was hoping for a 10th key item from the behemoth, or not behemoth, the Bahamut check, and then all of a sudden, here's pass. It's like, oh, well, okay, crystal's my 10th key item. Because I don't think I found sirens in any shops.
No, we did not see them anywhere.
And I kind of had a bit of seed blending, because I saw the edge. I'm like, I could steal sirens. Oh, wait, I already cleared Babel, and that was a bit of seed blending.
Yeah, we'll interrupt real quick to see Lord Bobbery has finished with a 1:29.06, taking 8th place in the race overall, but has declined to interview, so we'll stick with Tybalt here. But GG's to Lord Bobbery as well.
So, you ran into a little bit of an issue early on with that surprisingly tough Dark Knight Cecil in the Baron Inn. I know you really wanted a Cecil to anchor your party. What were your thoughts when you kind of ran into that roadblock for the first time?
Well, I ran into Dark Knight Cecil, and I saw the 300s. Like, okay, either A, I need enough health on Young, or I know there's an Edward sitting in the Sandruby spot right now, so I could do our deals, get the Paladin Cecil all ready with the crystal sword I had in hand, and get through it either by just having sheer HP or having Edward hide. So I knew there might be a chance of me going back to go grab that Sandruby character.
Yeah, and either approach would have gotten you through. We saw Jabrun took the hiding approach. But I mean, you got through in the end, which is what mattered.
Yeah, and Crystal Sword Avenger Cecil does some work.
Yeah, kind of carries.
Except against Baigen.
There was the matter of the Baigen and the exploding arm. That was another moment that we saw on the screen where it's kind of like, it hurts to see.
Oh, yeah, I saw that like, oh no. And then the old Gauntlet Dwarf, too.
I mean, that's just comedy right there.
Yeah, it's just fun to have all your friends hanging out at Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, you know, a Tela would have been somewhat nice, and that's the only reason why I actually got the Rydia experience in the first fight, so she had warp, so I could do the warp glitch.
Yeah, even though that didn't end up giving you much in the way of value.
No.
That gave a moon veil, which almost got you through that first Baigen fight.
Yeah. I figured the moon veil would make, Cecil invulnerable except for the vampires, which if targeting goes correctly and he attacks the body more instead of just the arms, it goes a bit better. Because it was like left arm, recover, left arm, right arm, recover. It's like,
yeah, the AI not being your friend, it happens so many ways in this randomizer. Sometimes it's who the enemies attack, sometimes it's who you attack.
Mm-hmm. One of the cool things about this particular race, on stream, we had 4 different final parties. Talk to us about why you chose Yang and Cecil and Rosa and Rydia to take to Z.
Well, my original thought process was I've got Crystal Sword Avenger Cecil, and I've got Rosa, power couple. That's really all you need. I was hoping to have Rydia near base level just for anchoring, and Yang doesn't need equipment. He just needs levels. He's already got 2 cat claws. I'm happy.
Yep, that is a solid argument.
Yeah, and it really worked out well. That Z fight with Cecil doing a lot of work. He ended up with 31 HP, but that's 30 more than you need.
Exactly. Well, more of 29 because you still have the Big Bang ticks there at the end, so...
Yeah, but Yang was alive, so whatever.
Yeah, true.
All right, well, I'll ask you the same thing I asked Poss and Morpheus, the really important question. What is your favorite 90s road trip movie?
The only real road trip movie I've ever seen is National Lampoon's Vacation. I know it's not 90s, it was in 83, but...
I mean, until I signed up to commentate this, I would have said the Blues Brothers, and that was 1980, which even further off, so...
Yeah, we got to go to Wally World.
Yeah.
Yay. Look, kids, it's Big Ben.
The park's closed.
In this restream, we make concessions for all movies.
All right, well, Tybalt, any final thoughts on the seed?
No, besides Amazing Z-Sprite, that's the first time I've seen Hades miss. Amazing artwork.
Yeah, that was a very good, very large one.
Well,
all right,
thanks for the restream and the commentary. I know you guys are some great commentators, and thanks for Andy up for the tracking. And Death is doing the restreaming.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the ride with us, and congratulations on your 5th place finish, and GG's once again.
Yeah, GG's. Have a good one.
Yep, so that was Tybalt, our 5th place finisher overall. As we were talking, Jabrun has that pass, is just setting up his party and his levels at this point. Taking on a few behemoths for some extra levels. Probably see him in the Zeromus fight not too long from now.
Yeah, he could be taking the Tybalt way. Right now, his levels are about at what Tybalt's were when he entered the Z fight. Might try to take on another behemoth or two just to be extra safe.
Yeah, it's looking like I've always considered 2100 HP. That is the point where any character is safe from any big bang, as long as you're maintaining your HP. That's not 100% true. I don't think. I think you can roll slightly higher, but that's about where I'm. Like this is comfortable. This is no stress.
Yeah, if a big bang rolls higher than that, you just say, the game's just against me, and that's fine. But takes down that behemoth.
Yeah, getting again 3 levels per character. That's so much. You're solid. Yeah, that rose to 2139. I'd be heading down myself.
Yep. And that is what Jabron is doing. Taking the exit ramp, gonna head straight to Troya. And while he's making that trip, do want to thank once again our restreamer Dathus, our tracker Antidale, who did a wonderful job keeping everything straight. And thanks to you, Hupton. Thanks for taking this ride with me.
Always a pleasure, Sheep Launcher. This is like the second time in like a month and a half that we've done commentary together. It's always a good time.
Yeah, Sheep Hupton rides again.
We may want to work on the branding a little.
It was a first draft.
I mean, yeah, no, it's not like I turned in any homework myself.
All right, I spy with my little eye something crystalline.
Is it a sword?
That is crystalline, but it's not what I spy.
Okay. I can't see anything else because that sword is very shiny. So I have to apologize.
Well, how about the crystal that Jabron just had to make room for in his inventory?
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
The most shameful inventory boss. When you have to get the crystal in there.
It's the mini boss right before the final boss.
Yeah.
It's like the first phase of Zeromus is an inventory.
Yes. And when you're heading out on the road, you always want to double check, make sure you didn't forget anything.
Mm-hmm.
Keys.
And so you just grab everything.
Yeah. Keys, wallet, crystal. Do I have it all?
Man, the number of times over the last few years that I've left this house without my crystal, I tell you, it's downright embarrassing.
It just.
I mean, it looks like Jabron also forgot something.
I think he forgot to adjust to adjust his agility.
You forgot to curse your Lunarian. You've got to make a memo.
I thought you were wearing your ring. What do you mean you left it behind? Yeah, he took one look at that shake. Yeah. All it takes is a shake, and he knew that, like a little red Corvette, that Z was going way too fast.
Yeah, you play this randomizer enough, and all of our feature runners tonight, very experienced players. You just have that muscle memory. You just have that feel for how fast should Zeromus be, and the moment that's off, you're like, yeah, you're fidgeting a little bit. Like this is something is wrong. Something is very wrong here.
I want to encourage you, if you haven't already, to give each of our featured runners a follow. They are all very entertaining on their own streams, getting together to put on a heck of a race for us all tonight. So give them a follow, show them some love.
Yep, I know. I can only speak for Possum Morpheus, but I'm sure all of our feature runners knowledgeable enough that if you have questions, you have those, you're looking to get into the randomizer yourself, they're going to be the people that you want to talk to.
Yeah, and you heard from some of them. They're really friendly. The entire community, just you can't say enough about the quality of people in this community, how willing everybody is to help each other out and to just be there. It really is something really special. And speaking of special, we get to see the Hades' sprite once again. And you were saying this before, there are over 500 sprites, most done by our art director / all around awesome person, Scala Kitty. And you could just see the attention that's been paid to this. It really is wonderful. I might have made that up, but I think all around awesome person should be your role.
Yeah, you could do fun things with Discord roles. I tell you what. But I'm not a Discord admin, and that's for the best.
Yeah, and I not just a role, but a title. We could give Scala all the colors of her name that we want.
Man, you know that if Discord let you give the titles an actual rainbow of colors, there's so many servers I'm in where you would see that. It'd be very nice.
That would be really cool, actually. Wonder if they'll do that one day. Jbrun going for hybrid strats. Getting Fu in on the action.
Yep, very reasonable with this party. You've got 2 solid physical attackers, and you got Fu who can do all sorts of magic to throw in some extra damage.
But look at the names of this final party. You got Paula Abdul, you got MC Hammer, Ace Frehley, and Axel Rose. That's quite a lineup.
I really wanted to say Axel Foley, but that's the character from Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, it's got a strong musical association, though.
Yeah. And that's probably technically a road movie?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I'm pretty sure there are roads. So
probably roads. Definitely a car.
Yeah, at least 2 cars, I dare say.
Okay, so here's the question: is Speed a road trip movie?
You know,
by the loosest definition of it, I would honestly agree that yes, it is a road trip movie.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue against it.
Well, when you're on comms with Sheep Launcher, you get asked the questions that nobody else dares to ask. And that's a flash.
Yep.
Jbrunter finishes in 9th place with a time of 1:45:07. GG's to Jbrun. Just went down a few rabbit holes, but really, he showed his skill. It was a really well done race.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get Jbrun in for a little bit of a chat.
looks like Jay Brun's going to
Yep.
decline for tonight.
Yeah, I mean that is always your prerogative if you're
Yep.
restreamed. No need to chat if you don't feel like it. Totally fair. Sheep Launcher and I were the only ones actually required to talk throughout tonight's stream, and
We signed up for that.
yeah, and we appreciate all of you listening, as we did so and watching these 4 great runners go through that seed.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we appreciate you joining us tonight for this community race. We have community races every Monday and Friday with different flags every week, so come join us again. Then, do want to say on this channel tomorrow, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, we do have the Heroes Legacy. I'm saying that wrong, aren't I?
Yeah, I just see the
the
assignments marked as the hero's journey.
The Hero's Journey, yes.
I honestly am not entirely sure what that flag set is going to look like.
It's the wonderful club started by Alchemy. It's at 3 p.m. Tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, accessible to our European folks. So it really is a nice club, and that'll be our next broadcast. So we hope to see you there.
Yep, but as for tonight, we are going to go say hi to Fred Coughlin. He's doing some... it was doing an FF1 80% run. It's kind of, I believe, his signature run, along with some more randomizer stuff. So, friend of the community, we'll go say hi.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Well, this road trip is over. Thanks once again to Dathis, our restreamer, to Antidale, our tracker. Thank you, Hupfin. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you, Sheep Launcher, and once again, thank you all for watching.
So long.